Tonight I'm going to make a Instapot dinner of lemon garlic chicken, and we're going to make stick of butter rice in the oven. This garlic chicken just goes over that buttered rice so well. So it calls for onion, and I've got 2 halves because every time I cut an onion I throw it in the refrigerator. I've got fresh lemons. You can always use lemon juice. Rice, French onion. You can use beef broth. I just have beef consomme, so we're going to use it. Chicken thighs. Just some green beans to go on the side. Oil, butter, garlic, Kinder's Buttery Steakhouse just from extra flavor, just because we like it and stuff. Garlic, Italian seasoning, and it calls for chicken stock, but I have beef, so we're going to use that in the chicken. And I'll show you how we make that. So I've rinsed my rice, so we're just going to put that down. I'm going to take the spoon. Try to get a nice layer in here. You don't really have to do this, because some of it's going to float. And I've cut a whole stick. Most of the time I don't add the whole stick. So it's 1 can of French onion, 1 cup rice, and I always get this started first, so that by the time I get all the chicken done and everything else, this has had plenty of time to cook. Sometimes it's still a little while. Can of the consomme. And then I think I'm going to do about half a stick, but I've just made them in little patties, little pats of butter. The easiest. We'll do 3 more. So a little over a stick, but this is plenty. And then we're going to cover this with foil and bake it in the oven for an hour. So I've got the Instapot set, and I have it on saute, and I'm going to put a little bit of avocado oil in the bottom, but you can use any of the oils that you prefer. I have already, get some tongs, and I've seasoned the chicken, and this is where you could use the salt, pepper, garlic, onion, Italian seasoning. That's just where I went ahead and used the Kinder's Buttery Steakhouse, just by choice. Now I'm going to cook these in 2 batches because these are big chicken thighs. And all we're doing on these is getting a brown. So it's like 2 minutes. Nothing over the top. You're not cooking them. And I have made this with chicken breast. My one son does not like thighs. See what I mean? I still have 4 thighs to cook, so I'm not going to try to cram all these in here. But I always do like a cup. I always do thighs, and then I do like 1 chicken breast or a couple chicken tenders. And it just makes it so that way he'll eat it, and he loves it. This meal, all my boys will come home for. But you could do this in the skillet. But I don't know why. I like the way this turns out, so this is how I do it. Give it another minute. Okay, just gonna turn them over. We've got them a little bit browned. Probably could have left them go another minute. Doesn't seem to be as hot as normal. It's okay. We'll give them another 2 minutes on the other side, and then we'll repeat with the rest of them. So now that we've got all the chicken out, we're going to cut in our, I just ended up just doing a half of the diced onion. And And we're gonna cook that for a minute with the garlic. And yes, I just did a big plop. Cook it down for about a minute, and then we're gonna deglaze the pan because I have all the bits, the brown bits under here. So this is what that start is. And I have my little handy dandy clip so that it doesn't move all over the place. The garlic smells wonderful, and so do the onions. Now at this point you're supposed to deglaze this, but with the lemon juice and the zest. I've already got the lemons zested and the lemon juice. I put them together already, so I'm just going to use the broth. As I said, I'm just using beef. It'll give it a richer flavor, but you can use either. So at this point we're just going to get the broth to come up to temp, and then we'll start scraping it all off. Okay, I've got it all deglazed, and please remember to do this. You will get a burn notice. And this is why a lot of people don't like to do this. I don't think it's that big of a deal. So I'm gonna add the lemon juice and the lemon zest back in. This is where you're gonna add your Italian seasoning. Keep in mind, I'm cooking like 7 chicken thighs because we'll eat this for lunch tomorrow. I have my huge plate over here. I'm going to put these back in. It's ending the saute function. Cancel. Pour the juice back in. There's flavor there. And just because of the rule with the Instapot, I'm going to make sure there's enough liquid in here. Plus, we want the sauce because it goes over the rice. Undo this. Always check your seal to make sure it's all intact and everything's good. Put this on. This is the duo, so it automatically goes back to seal. I'm going to pressure for 7 minutes. And then it'll hit start. We're gonna do 7 minutes high pressure, and then it will go for a 2 to 3 minute natural release, and it'll be ready to go. It is that simple. These scared me at first. My parents went out years ago before the electric pressure cookers were just getting popular, and I had asked for a pressure cooker, so they bought me, I think it's called a F-A-G-E. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. I can't remember what it is. And you can water bath can in it, and you can pressure can in it. But it is a little intimidating. I'm looking at it on top of my refrigerator. I rarely ever use it. I bought one of these about 2 years ago, the Instapot. Before that, I actually had a Ninja and loved it, the Ninja iFoodie. So I had the pressure and the air fryer. I will say the lid went out on that one, so because you take the lid open and close all the time, and the wiring, I think, just got messed up eventually, so it would turn off and turn on. So I gave it to my son and told him not to pressure cook in it, but he still air fries and stuff in it, and I bought myself a new one, and I have really enjoyed it. We don't use it as often as I think we should. We use it primarily for rice, and I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous, but it makes the best rice. Great hard-boiled eggs, great baked potatoes. I use it for a lot of things. So I will say I get my use out of it. but I think I should learn to make more meals. But this is one that I do make in this. So this has come up to pressure and I just released it. Very simple. And it smells good. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the chicken back out, and I made a cornstarch slurry of a tablespoon of cornstarch, a little over a tablespoon of water. So all you're going to do is you're going to put this back on saute. So cancel and saute. Drop your cornstarch slurry in. And we're just going to whisk this together. Let it come up to temp. We're not making, just want to clarify, we're not making a gravy. This is just going to thicken the sauce. And then we'll be ready to eat. Trying to make sure it doesn't all fog up, but there you go, nice and thick. And I just turned it off. I went ahead and made the green beans. All I did was a can of those green beans, a little bit of bacon fat, and a little bit of broth. And then here's how the rice turned out. We have better overall. And it's just really nice and fluffy. It's absolutely delicious, and I just put them all over the top of each other. Tonight, I'm gonna throw together a real quick skillet meal, and it's sausage and orzo. So it's gonna have orzo. I don't have chicken stock, but I have beef, so we're just gonna go with it. Sausage, I got this from the Amish grocery store, so I paid $1 for it. I prefer the one from Aldi's versus Jimmy Dean's, but it's fine. You can also use Italian sausage. I don't like Italian sausage. It's the only reason I'm using that. Half of an onion, Parmesan. You can also use the shaky cheese. It works. Some spinach, some heavy cream, garlic, and salt and pepper. And this will be a real quick skillet meal on a great idea for a weeknight dinner. So I've chopped an onion and I've got the pan heating. So we're just gonna, I have the most weirdest way of doing this, but it seems to come out the easiest. I say that, and then this one's not coming out easily. There we go. We're just going to break this up. And I'm also going to throw in my onions so I can get a nice saute on them. So now that I've got the onions and the sausage cooked, I'm going to take a cup of orzo. And we're going to just lightly toast it. But I have drained off the most of the grease, so there's not any really left. What is left is now toasting the orzo. Just for a minute. And then we're going to add the garlic. Tomorrow's grocery day. Cook the garlic just a little bit. We're going to add in 2 cups of chicken stock or beef stock, or you could also use water and, oh, I'm tired, bouillon, whatever way you've got to use it. Any of it works. There's 1 cup. Two cups. Okay, we're going to bring this up to a light simmer. I can hardly talk this evening. We're going to go ahead and season this. Salt and pepper is all we're doing with this. It's got enough flavor with everything else, but I'm lightly doing salt. I'll probably do more pepper. You can also add some chili flakes if you want some heat. My husband can add those later, or he can add Cholula or whatever else he wants to add. I don't care for heat very much. And then the final thing we're going to add for right now is 1 cup of heavy cream. And this is what's going to get absorbed. And it's going to be about 10 minutes. And you're going to want to stir this because the orzo will stick if you've never cooked with orzo. It has a tendency to stick, so stay close by for this. Typically, this is when I do dishes, figure out what I need to get out for the next night's dinners. It's my time in the kitchen. So we're just gonna give this a good stir, let it sit here, and see it's already starting to bubble. I'm gonna turn the heat down just a little bit because I don't want this to be over. And then when we come back, we're gonna add in the spinach and the Parmesan, and it'll be time to eat. So this has been cooking for about 10 minutes, and it's almost all the way reduced. So at this point, we're gonna add in, I don't know, a generous amount of spinach. Remember, this is gonna cook down. It said 2 cups. We'll see how this looks. It's over half the bag, and the bag said 3, so. You know how spinach is, it just disappears. Now that the spinach has cooked down, I'm just gonna add in, and like I said, you can use the shaky stuff. I'm just going to use about a cup. There we go. And we'll stir this in, and it'll be almost time to eat. So I've just made some sourdough. We're just going to put in this in a bowl. Very simple, easy, quick dinner for a nice weeknight, and it is extremely budget friendly.